On this episode of Overreaction Monday.
Should people just be able to get juiced out the ass,
rip roids,
and see what happens?
I've always been for it. What do you think down in the comments? Just, I don't know how you could ever.
We'll call it Juice World. Figure it out, dog.
It's broken. You know what?
Yeah.
Guess what? It's frozen. So that's good.
Hey, at least you can read it.
At least I can read it. God, fucking sick.
This guy can't even get it done.
I'm leaving some of this in. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the YouTube channel, Jack Shower. We hit 56 subscribers. 58, actually. I think 58. Me and Jack Shower finally here in person in this fantastic studio. Just kidding, we're in Jack's apartment. But I just want to thank all of you, all 58 of you, for continuing to sub, being with you. Shout out to some subscribers. Great friend Max, old roommate.
Shout out Max.
One of the subs. Good friend from middle school, Chris Barella, one of the subs.
Shout out
us
Chris.
out on Facebook. Hollywood AJ, Keep It 100 Podcast. He shouted us out on Facebook. I don't know if it's one of the subs, AJ. If you're not subbed, make sure you're subbed. We're climbing to 100. Guess what? We had the giveaway on Saturday. Guess who won the giveaway?
Me?
Katie. Oh. No, because she was the only one that entered in the giveaway. So we're going to try again. Instead,
Isn't that kind of rigged?
That's why I said we're going to try it again. Giveaway. It's going to be a little $25 gift card. Just comment down below, giveaway. Literally just comment down below, giveaway. Me and Jack are going to pick the winner of the giveaway because I can't give it to Katie because that's going to seem like it's rigged. So, Overreaction Monday. Let's just get right into it, Jack. J.J Watt got really... Also, please sub because my phone's broken. Like, I need to be able to, like, afford a new phone. Look at this. Guys, look at that. It's broke, D.
Now you're gonna have to spend a half hour.
Now I'm
just
gonna
to pull
have
up
to
the notes
fix
again.
it. So guys, no, I know the notes. J.J Watt released by the Texans, which makes me think here, Texans terrible organization because Deshaun Watson's like, listen.
We knew that already, though.
Yeah, we talked about it last week.
We knew that.
We talked about it last week. But Deshaun Watson was like, hey guys, I care about the organization enough. Trade me and you can get something back. And J.J Watt's like, yeah, just let me go. Actually, Jack, I heard that like they wanted to trade him, but like. They wanted a first-round pick, and they were like, we're not going to give you a first-round pick for J.J. Watt.
I mean, I'd give up a first-round pick for J.J. Watt.
Where he's at now?
Yeah, he's what, 31, and Stafford's 32 and got 2 of them.
It's broken.
It's still broken.
Stop screwing with it. It's broken. All right, yeah, no, J.J. Watt, no, I mean, where he's at now, where do you think he goes? Overreaction Monday, where do you think he goes? I think he goes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they run it back. If I could find the clip from mine and Jack's first ever video on the channel, me saying that good quarterbacks just don't beat him in championship games. It's usually the ones that are just trash. I'm sorry. Eli Manning and Joe Flacco are bad. They're bad. They're not great. They're not. The NFC AFC championship prediction, I said Bucks Chiefs, Bucks win it all. I'm just saying. I'm not right a lot, so when I am, I'm going to brag about it.
You know what? Just congrats, Luke. You know what? I think you're maybe the only dude in the entire world that said Chiefs Bucks.
I'm the only. No, dude. I'm one of the only Americans that wanted the Bucks to win it all. Because everyone else is like, dude, I hope Brady just.
Yeah, you're insane. I don't get why.
Dude, one last thing before we go back to J.J. Watt. Did you see the backlash from the Tom Brady throwing the Super Bowl trophy on the boat?
Yeah, that was incredible.
Hilarious.
So funny. Dude's 40 and he's partying like he's like 21.
Dude, the lady that was talking, that like everyone was talking about, is like a silversmith's daughter. And they were all mad. Like, do you know how much, like, time my dad puts into those trophies to, like, make them? So, you know how much time Tom Brady puts in?
Did she not see the video from when the Patriots won with Gronk? When Gronk bunted the baseball with the Super Bowl trophy?
I have to imagine that's why they didn't let him win Super Bowl MVP. Like, they couldn't have a frat boy be Super Bowl MVP.
Brady's basically a frat boy.
He is now, but they didn't think about it before. Tom Brady.
Tampa Brady.
Dude, did you see the avocado tequila tweet? Tom Brady getting absolutely smashed. But back to J.J. Watt, I think he goes to the Bucks. But it really depends on like a lot of different
things. He has like
things.
a dozen teams or something listed. Like it's like the Steelers, the Bills, the Titans, the Packers. The Broncos were in there.
Which is funny to me.
Like the Jets, like just a bunch of teams out there. So I have no fucking clue. I'd love to see him obviously go to the Packers.
I don't think the Packers need a pass rush. That's what I was saying. I don't think you guys need more pass rushers.
So they did like the whole like PFF grades and everything, and it's like Zadarius Smith, great pass rusher. Preston Smith, great pass rusher. What do they lack? Run defense. What does J.J. Watt still do? Defend the run.
He does defend the run quite well.
Packers still need him. I'd love to see him on the Bills, though. I think that would be kind of sick. You know, JJ and Josh.
He can't. And JJ. Dude, Pat McAfee talked about this on his show, and he's like, JJ can't win, right? So if he doesn't go to Pittsburgh, then he hates his brothers. Excuse me. If he doesn't go to Green Bay, then he hates his city because he's from Wisconsin. And if he goes to Tampa Bay, then everyone will just hate him because he's ring chaser.
Yeah, he's just trying to win.
Yeah, so poor J.J. Watt.
Anyway he goes, just kind of a...
He's in trouble.
He's not looking great.
Great guy, though. I mean, he's done great things for the city of Houston. Remember was that hurricane relief fund where he raised like $40 million?
It was like all the flooding and stuff, yeah.
That was insane.
Shout out J.J. He's Walter Payton Man of the Year. For a reason.
Yeah, he is. Who won this year? Russell Wilson? Speaking of Russell Wilson, no, he did. Speaking of Russell Wilson, he might still want out of Seattle.
I mean, I'd want out of Seattle. Pete Carroll's chewing too much gum and not putting a defense together.
Dude, so here's the thing. Russell Wilson might want out of Seattle. Seattle says, we're not trading him. Deshaun Watson wants out of Houston. They're like, we're not trading them, which is just really funny, which is going to bring up a whole bunch of backlash because when you come into this thing, a lot of things about race and politics coming into it because J.J. Watt's like, I want out, and Houston was like, all right. Deshaun's like, I want out, and they're like, no. No, they're like, we're not letting you out. So I think it's going to come up a lot of backlash, and you have to think about it. The NFL and sports in a total has become really politically charged. That was tough. Sentence. It's tough when you're talking about race because you don't want to be offensive, but it's become really politically charged in sports where might come a lot of backlash. So Overreaction Monday, I think if you don't move Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson and they want to get moved, you might think around the next time that CBA comes around. And the NFLPA is not going to want to strike a deal with the NFL, especially with two big quarterbacks. Do we see the NFL starting to turn in like an NBA type league where it's run by the players? It's harder when you have a 52-man roster.
I was going to say it's a little harder when there's so many players, but I mean, I can understand like keeping Deshaun keeping Russ a little more than Deshaun. Russ hasn't been quite as outspoken as Deshaun Watson's been. Deshaun Watson literally like came up on Twitter and was like, "Get me the fuck out of the city. I don't want to be here anymore." And the Texans are just like, "Yeah, we'll keep him a little longer." Dude, I think Russ has just kind of been like, it's rumored like Russ wants out, but like nobody's like directly said or heard anything from Russ where he's like, "Yeah, get me out of here."
Well, Easter B's all Western. That Western preacher or that Southern preacher, he's like, I'll talk to the old G-man upstairs.
Belt buckle.
And the big old belt buckle. And I'll let him know. I talked to him last night, Deshaun, and he told me that you don't want out of Houston. This is the best chance that you're going to get. Yeah. I traded away all your wide receivers because he came to me at the top of the mountain.
But don't worry, we got David Johnson.
David Johnson.
You had one good game, 2 good games this year?
I think so.
Yeah.
There's no words when you're talking about the Houston Texans.
It's just a worst organization in the NFL. Jacksonville Jaguars. Close second, Houston Texans.
Did you hear that thing about Urban Meyer? Not even on our list, but did you hear? So Urban Meyer, a lot of people think that he's a scumbag because of what he did at Ohio State. I don't know enough about it to judge it, but I know that it's not great. So basically, right, the person that he hired was like one of his assistant coaches, wide receiver coach, was like highly involved.
No, it was like the strength coach or something.
But he was highly involved with domestic violence, right? He was a terrible person.
Like beat his girlfriend or wife or whatever.
Awful. So you figure, hey, you're going to learn from mistakes. So they found out that the guy that he hired to be the strength and conditioning coach for the Jaguars, also terrible person.
Yeah, also... Who's from Iowa or something like
Iowa,
that too?
Yeah, and he bullied the kids. And, there's a fine line you walk when you're a football coach between degrading kids and just full-on bullying them.
It's
because
not great.
I played football in high school, and there's a reason I went back to play hockey. One, I loved it, but two, I just couldn't take the heat.
Nope.
They come for you as a person. And they're just like, God damn it, Siggins, why can't you run the read option?
Is it just me or is like every like football strength coach also just ridiculously Southern
and ridiculously yacked?
Yeah,
and you're just like, because you can't stand up for yourself,
and you're just like, Coach, don't make me run anymore.
Dude, he could just crunch you, dude. Or, dude, some of the football coaches are just ridiculously skinny, and they're just scary because they just come for you as a person. They're like, God damn it, Siggins, you couldn't throw a 14-yard out, and that's why your mom doesn't love you. And you're just like, fuck.
You're like, my mom's dead, actually.
He's right. Wow. Yikes. Moving on.
Anyways.
Speaking of things that are dead.
What did he say?
My phone.
Yeah, dude, my phone. The Avs offense, dude, I'm going to get demonetized. Oh, wait, we don't make any money. We need more subs. Got to get to 1,000 subs if you're still here. I know my watch time's like 1 minute and 28 seconds, so if you're still here this far in the video, you're one of the OG subscribers, and we love you. Avs offense, awful. Can't work against Vegas. It just doesn't work.
We don't know why.
They can't score. They just came off a 12-day layoff. They missed 4 games. Couldn't practice. Didn't have Landeskog? I don't think they had Landeskog in the game. They play again tomorrow. I'd still take Vegas if I was betting. I'm going to be honest. Vegas is just ridiculously yacked. It's just unfair the way that the NHL made their drafts or made their expansion draft because
too many players can be let go.
Yeah, because you can only protect 6 players, right? That's what it was.
So it's going to be your first line every time.
It's going to be your first line, maybe another guy on the second line, and your goalie.
Yeah.
Which isn't true with the Pittsburgh Penguins because they were like, Marc-Andre Fleury, 2-time Stanley Cup champ. We're just going to let him go. He's still sick. He's insane.
Yeah. It's scary. I don't know why they would do it like that because I feel like every other sport that has an expansion draft, it's like you can protect like half your roster, like more than half, which makes sense. Like, you know, obviously there's other things to consider like salary cap and whatnot, but it's like in hockey, it's like you have a team of dudes who are all sick. So it's like
your top 9 is usually pretty
your top
good.
9's insane.
Especially if you like look at like the top 5 teams in the NHL where like their top 9 is sick. Like if you took the third guy on the third line for the Avalanche, you're still getting like Nichushkin, which is a great player. And then you just like build a team of a bunch of average dudes. You're going to have the best team in the league. It's ridiculous. Vegas is going to be good for Lord knows how long. I don't know how the Avalanche are still favored over Vegas in anything. They're still inexperienced.
Because it's the Avs.
I don't know. Moving on, dude. Braun.
Floppy Braun.
He violated the league's flopping, which I've never seen the flopping policy, which I have never once seen anyone ever get written up on. Like, I watched the video. I'll see if I can find it, and I'll put it up right here. But it was like it was a pretty bad flop, but you know, nothing really out of the ordinary for LeBron James.
Like James Harden has had way worse flops than what Braun did.
Which is weird. So they like give him a warning, which I don't even know what that institutes. I think if he gets another one, they like fine him. But like, what's $25,000 to a guy that's made $1 billion this year?
Yeah, I don't know. I
have to imagine.
I feel like sports fines are the dumbest things. It's like, yeah, we fined him $25,000, and everyone's like, oh! And then it's like, oh wait, he makes $3 million in a month.
It's true, but I think like when I explained it to you when we had this talk, it's kind of like the equivalent of like a parking ticket at the college. You know, when you like get like the $100, like for a college student, $100 is a lot. Yeah. But let's say that like you're making a normal job and you get a parking ticket, like $100 isn't a lot in the grand scheme of things for like an average working American. COVID times, Lord knows it's awful, but average working American, $100 isn't like it's like okay, it's still like a pain though because you're like, damn, I really got to pay this out. But no, in the grand scheme of things, $25,000 is nothing when you're making $3 million. But the thing is, he got written up for it. People are upset. I mean, he's still the greatest in the league right now. Kevin Durant's giving a run for his money. Brooklyn Nets still look messy. Basketball as a whole has been really confusing.
Nobody knows who's good and who's bad because it changes on a week-by-week basis.
Utah Jazz is the best team in the West. Philadelphia 76ers is the best team in the East. I have it hard to believe that that'll be the NBA
the
Finals.
Cavs have swept the Sixers and the Nets so far this year. Am I correct?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't watched a lot of the regular season. I just kind of watch highlights. Like you did best performing video on the channel, LaMelo Ball highlights. Want to know what sucks? House of Highlights just immediately copy strikes those videos.
So dumb.
So when my channel gets to 1,000 subscribers and I have to send it to YouTube and say, hey YouTube, I'd really like to be monetized, they're gonna go, hey Luke, about 7 of your videos are copyright struck, and I'm gonna be like, that's great. Sorry.
Oops.
Dude, I feel like this Overreaction Monday has been quite messy. By the way, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. But this is just kind of what it is. It's the first time we're doing it in person. Braun flopping. AD's hurt. He's made of glass. I'm not surprised.
He breaks all the time. Blake Griffin, they're sitting him because they don't want to pay him. They want to trade him or cut him, but he's making like $38 million a year, so no one's going to want to pay him because he has like 12 points a game.
And no one gets fired for these things, which I don't get.
No.
Like, if you were in charge of a franchise, any like normal thing, let's not even say it's $38 million. Let's say you're in charge of a company and you make a bad investment worth a good amount of money. I'm pretty sure they're going to fire you. GMs do it all the time and they never get punished. Like, ever.
Rockies.
Dude, like, what? Like, imagine in the Rockies scenario.
Another note to the Blake Griffin ordeal. He has a player option of $39.5 million for next year. He's gonna accept it.
Especially if they're just gonna like. If I'm like Blake Griffin and I've been playing basketball for at least 13 years now, like I jumped over a car, I'm gonna go. You guys let me sit on the bench and collect $36 million. Like,
okay,
I think he's okay. He's fine. He dated Kendall Jenner, so I'm guaranteed like girls just like Blake Griffin, whether he's playing or not. I don't know if that has to account to anything in this show, but I have to imagine that even if he's on the bench, he's a good-looking guy. I don't like how sports analysts say that all the time. You know what?
He's a nice looker.
And this is a great transition into the UFC because DC, if you guys watch the UFC 258 pay-per-view, Daniel Cormier, my favorite sports commentator in the world, is like the king of sus comments, the creme de la creme of sus comments.
It was beautiful. My favorite one was Grasso, the Mexican chick that fought against Macy Barber, and they're bringing Grasso. I'm definitely slaughtering her last name. Won the fight. Did incredible.
No, that's her last name.
Beat the absolute hell out of Macy Barber.
Great fight.
And DC goes, Joe, we got Grasso here for the interview. She's been working on her English. She's really good. And then, like, it's just the most, like, broken English, like, Creole. And Joe is, like, half of her answers, Joe's just like, I don't understand what this woman says.
Because you have to imagine, I can't speak another language.
No,
I
it's
can't.
tough. It's so tough.
And imagine trying to speak another language that isn't your native language after you just fought 15 minutes.
Absorbed, like, 50 punches.
No chance.
Threw, like, 100 and some, so your arms are just rubber. Like, your legs are just rubber.
I couldn't pass an anthropology exam after I was hungover the night before. And that's in the same language. Yeah. It's just studying language.
It's rough.
It's impossible. Shout out Grasso, dude. She's sick. Hands of steel. She is 125 pounds and got hands like bricks. Usman, not 125 pounds. That boy is 175. Built like a water buffalo.
He's scary.
That jab is like hitting a wall.
That's all he threw like the whole time. I think he threw like maybe 4 hooks.
Burns almost knocked him out. Burns almost knocked him out.
He did stun him a couple times in the first.
Usman said he was like, dude, that hurt, but I just kept my composure, and that's what it comes down to being a champion. Burns got a little trigger happy, found out that Usman jab hurts. Dude, that one that caught him was just a jab, and just like,
there was like 2 or 3 of them in the third round. Well, it was like the end of the second hit, and I was like, Burns needs to do something, or else like he's just gonna die the third round. And like first 30 seconds, Usman just like 1, 2, 3, and Burns was on the ground.
Yeah, I understand now how like he broke Colby Covington's jaw with that overhand.
That thing just is mean.
I don't know who he's gonna fight next. Some say Masvidal. Do you think that's a good fight? I think he's gonna kill him either way.
He's gonna kill Masvidal. I think maybe they were talking Adesanya. Usman moves up, Adesanya moves back down, but like who knows. And then Khabib maybe, but Khabib's kind of looking like he's retired, and I don't know.
Dude,
there's like no. He's gone through all the contenders basically.
Why not Nate Diaz?
He could, yeah.
I don't think he can knock Nate Diaz out.
Tony Ferguson. Fuck. You can't knock Tony Ferguson out.
You can't break Tony Ferguson's arm either. Cue the clip. Wow. Insane. Can't break his arm.
No.
Look at this, Jack. Nice last topic of the day for Overreaction Monday. The chaos that has been. Is Jack Shower the greatest up-and-coming disc golf player?
Yes.
Your take.
Yes, he is.
Why?
I've seen that man crush so many trees. He's just got to straighten it out.
I definitely have a clip somewhere of Jack hitting a tree on my SD card, and I'm going to play it right now. I bet Jack hits a tree.
And that one didn't go as right as I want.
That's incredible. Good job, Jack.
It's great.
You absolutely murdered it. Incredible Overreaction Monday. Jack, is there anything else? Let's see. We got football. Anything baseball world? Probably not.
Nothing really happened.
Spring training.
Jared Hughes, the greatest headshot man in baseball history, retired finally. So no more great headshots from him.
Barry Bonds still never made it to the Hall of Fame.
Which Baseball Writers of America, you guys are
which brings up the great point. Next video. I'm just kidding. It'd be so funny. Should we have a steroid-only league?
Should people just be able to get juiced out the ass,
rip roids,
and see what happens?
I've always been for it. What do you think down in the comments? Just, I don't know how you could ever.
We'll call it Juice World.
No.
We'll call the league Juice World.
Alright, that's been the video. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Peace. Juice World.